Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai. First and foremost, I want to give our praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, by double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well at Great Millstone, and a blessed salutation to the Akyums in the four corners of the earth to pushing the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom. This evening I want to touch on this article, to feed the churches of Yahweh, B'Ashem Yahushai. Right, this article came out on the 18th of December 2017. Right, and it said China and Russia are training for war with the US if Trump invade North Korea. Right, and all these leading up to the prophecies. Right, because Russia is one of the main nation who can be the one of the top nations to destroy America. So these other nations gonna do it too, and also American allies. But the scripture prophesied that Russia, right? They got many perception that Russia who can destroy this whore, right? It says soldiers assigned, right, to an air assault. It said brigade, right, of the 83rd Group Army under the People Liberation Army Central Command Drive. They said a Leopard Cat all trained assault vehicle to engage in combat with simulate enemies under the fire support by helicopter during an assault. It's a capture and control training exercise at a field training ground in the hinterland of China, Tahihang Mountains on December the 16th. Right? It said China and Russia may be devising a plan to attack the US force in the event of an imminent war breakout on the neighboring Korea Peninsula, according to the two former military officials. He said Lieutenant General Wang Hongguan, the former deputy commander of the Western Nagin military region, warned the war on the Korea Peninsula might break out anytime between now and March next year. Right? And not this, the microchip gotta become mandatory and be made mandatory before the war break out. Right? So if he predicting that this is gonna be by next year, the microchip gotta be make mandatory before this happen. Right? The microchip is the next major prophecy that gonna come to pass when the microchip become mandatory. Right? Which is the mark of the beast. He said his comment came during a conference hosted Saturday by the ruling Communist Party newspaper, the Global Times. The following day, the nationalist outlet expanded on their retired general remarks, which incite from Chinese military expert, commentator, and author Song Hong Pin, if I'm not pronouncing it right, Salakia, who said China should potentially engage U.S. force if they pose a threat. Right? He said China should be physically, psychologically prepared for a potential Korea war, and the Northwest China region should be mobilized for that. Wang said Saturday. According to the Global Times, such mobilization is not to launch a war but for defensive purpose. He says himself, a former member of the Chinese military second artillery corps, which was later transformed into the rocket force, told the Global Times on Sunday that such defensive purpose would likely include contingency plan to retaliate against any breach of Chinese sovereignty by invading the U.S. force. He said in a separate interview, Song also said a high-tech anti-missile drill held that same day by China and Russia in Beijing, he said, were actually a joint effort by the US, two leading military competitor, to defend against a potential attack order by President Donald Trump, who was increasingly feud with North Korea Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un since taking office in January. He said China and Russia have joined the US in condemning the North Koreans' nuclear and ballistic weapon arsenal, which the country argued was necessary to defend against a US attempt to overthrow Kim, but Beijing and Moscow have statically oppose an expansionist U.S. military in Asia Pacific, right? It's the main target of the joint drill between China and Russia in the U.S., which has both ballistic and cruise missiles that could pose a real threat to both Beijing and Moscow. It says Song told the South China Morning Post on Sunday. He said both China and Russia want to use these joint anti-missile drills for strategic deterrence. He said they want to push the U.S. to withdraw its terminal high altitude area defense THAAD from the Korea Peninsula. He added. Right, so America got the THAAD missile defense on the Korea Peninsula. So, all this drawing up heat because, hey, this the most I can destroy America in fashion and style. Yeah, perfect destruction. He said the U.S. THAAD anti-missile system became fully operational in South Korea early this year. He said the Pentagon has urged such missile defense is necessary to shield the U.S. ally, right, from a potential missile attack by the northern rivalry. So, South Korea is one of the U.S. allies, so they set up a THAAD system there because North Korea gonna wipe they off too, But China and Russia have criticized the apparatus for apparently undermining their own national security. It said as Trump's stance towards North Korea grew more militant, the U.S. leader has sent more military assets and has conducted more drills in tense region further infuriating China and Russia. Alright, so this all I'm gonna read up to now, right? So right. So the government here is China and Russia is previously backed in North Korea when the newly established communist state went to war with South Korea, supported by the US and the UN in the early 1950s. The 3 years battle, widely seen as the first clash of the Cold War, ended with an armistice established. He said a demilitarized zone (DMZ) roughly along the pro-war border, but no peace between the warring neighbor. So basically, Russia and China they back North Korea, right? And all this is scriptural, So North Korea and China is Russia allies, right? And they're gonna defend the allies, right? So all this is scriptural, All this is scriptural. You understand? This is exactly what's gonna happen. Nobody make a chip. You know, it's the next major prophecy that's gonna come to pass, right? Which is the microchip, right? Let me get this precept here quick. This is next Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel 38. Right. This is Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 1. He said, and the Lord, Salakia, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesied against him. And today these Russians dwell in that land today. So today the Russian is known as Gog and Magog and Tubal, right? He said, and said, Thus said the Lord, power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Verse 4, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horsemen, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sort of armor, even a great company with buckler and shield, all of them handling sword. So the Most High say you can put hooks in their jaw and turn them back. You can turn back the Russians into the Soviet Union state where they was in. The mindset that have no fear, right? The Soviet Union put them back in the mindset, put the spirit back on the Russians, and that's why the Russians have no fear for America today. You know, they're ready to destroy them, right? They have no fear. That's why the Russians could have gone defeat ISIS, right? Yeah. It said verse 5. It said Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. So Persia go back to today they are the Iran, right? They are the Persian go back to the Elamites, which is East Indian, right? They call themselves Persian today. India are gonna join with them because India is part of the Elam too, right? He said Ethiopia and Libya, these so-called Hamites. The Hamites gonna join with them too, right? He said with them, all of them with shield and buckler. He said Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togarmah of the north country. This is going back to Russia again, right? And all his bands, and many people with thee. Many people, China, North Korea, the allies, right? This is prophecy about to happen, right? These prophecy about to happen, right? It said verse 7, he said, be thou prepared. So the Most High tell the Russians, be thou prepared. And this is what they're doing right now, they're preparing. They're preparing for the Armageddon, the World War III. He said, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself. And this we see China and Russia going through these drills, right? He said, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, right? The company, the China and Russia going to defend with North Korea, Russia defending Iran, Iran, and this other one is Assad, Syria, right? Be thou prepared and be a guard unto them. Russia's a big brother to these nations because it's prophesied in the Bible, right? He said this is Ezekiel 38 and 7. He said, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, and be thou a guard unto them. And this is what Russia doing. This is our prophecy. This is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai movie. This is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai movie. Everything that Yahweh say gonna come to pass. And this is just a preparation for this war, right? The Armageddon, right? And prophesied in the Bible that Russia gonna destroy America, right? So I'm gonna bring one more precept to close out this lesson, right? This is Jeremiah, and this is 50 verse 3. It said, for out of the north cometh up a nation against her. And who's the nation cometh up out of the north? The Russians. And against who? America. Her is the America, right? Which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, he said, they shall depart, both man and beast. Yeah, when they send, when America gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear missile, the land gonna be desolate. The land gonna be the biggest desert on the face of the earth. Nothing not gonna dwell there again, right? And John went to verse 9, right? Verse 9, Jeremiah 15:9. He said, "For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nation." Assembly of great nation. You see, China and Russia is a great nation, right? Because of the military strength, the missiles, the nuclear missile, North Korea, Iran, right? It say, "For lo, I will rise and to cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her," against America. They're gonna set themselves array against America. And this we see Russia and China doing right now here. They're preparing for what? A battle to push the US off of the Korea Peninsula, to push them off of there, right? He say, "From hence she shall be taken, the arrow shall be of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain." The arrows, they mean the missile, the ICBM missile. And you see Russia and China was doing missile tests too. They was testing the missile too. They was going through different drills, right? This is prophecy, right? That gonna come to pass. He said, verse 10, and the Chaldean shall be spoiled, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, said the Lord Yahweh. And all that spoil her shall be satisfied. The Chaldeans go back to you so-called white people, right? You devils, right? So these things prophesied in the scriptures, right? So this prophecy gonna come to pass. You know, Russia, China, Iran, even all US allies, UN, all these gonna come against America. Revelation 17:16, right? "Thee shall hate the whore," and we in that time. So this is the Most High stirring up this war, right? The Most High putting things in place, and so when this thing kick off, it's just rapidly, one like a domino effect. This thing gonna go bam 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 bam. You know, and we out of this place. You know, the elect gonna be out of this place by the chariots of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So this is beautiful news, you know. But the microchip is the next major prophecy that gonna come to pass. When the microchip come to pass, everything gonna start moving fast. When this devil made the microchip monetary and start killing the Israelite, you know, and start chipping the people on the face of the planet, everything gonna start moving fast, right? So with that, hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give our praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders who rule well at Great Millstone, and a blessed sanitation to the Akyams in the four corners of the earth who pushing the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom.